If you're watching this because you're short on cash, you're not irresponsible. You're human. We're going to take a look at a tool that millions of us are turning to in those moments of financial stress: instant loan apps. But are they a modern financial lifeline, or are they a digital trap in disguise? Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on.
Just picture this for a second. It's late. The house is totally quiet, but your mind is just a storm of numbers and due dates. And the big one is hanging over your head: rent. It's due tomorrow. It's the one bill that you absolutely positively cannot let slide.
So you do that thing. You pull up your bank app, your thumb just kind of hovering over the balance, hoping, just praying you miscalculated somewhere. But nope, there it is.
$43.27. That's it. That is everything you have to your name until payday. And the panic, it feels like a physical weight, right? So you do what we all do. You grab your phone, a quick search, and boom, you're staring at a screen full of what feels like hope. Dozens of apps, all promising instant cash.
I mean, think about it. In just a few minutes, you could be approved for hundreds of dollars. No paperwork, no awkward conversations with family or friends. It really feels like a miracle. But is it a lifeline, or is it an anchor? That is what we are here to figure out.
Okay, first things first. Let's cut through all that marketing noise. What is the real price you pay for this kind of convenience?
So what are we even talking about here? Well, instant loan apps. Sometimes people call them cash advance apps. They offer these small, short-term loans with incredibly fast approval. You've probably seen the names: Earnin, Dave, Bridget, MoneyLion. They all promise no interest and no credit checks. And let's be honest, that sounds way too good to be true. Which brings us to the billion-dollar question. If they aren't charging interest, how on earth are they making money?
Well, here's how they do it. It's a mix of these four main methods. First, some of them charge you a monthly subscription fee, even if you don't borrow a dime. Second, you need that money right now, like in minutes? That'll be an express transfer fee. Third, and this one's clever, they ask for optional tips. But let's be real, when an app just bailed you out, that optional feels a whole lot like obligatory, doesn't it? And finally, you've got late fees and rollovers. And a rollover is basically where you pay an extra fee to push back your due date, which just digs you deeper into that hole.
Now this is where it gets kind of crazy. Let's do some quick math. Say you pay a $10 fee to get a $100 advance that you pay back in 2 weeks. That sounds manageable, right? Just 10 bucks. But when you calculate that as an annual percentage rate, or APR, it's the equivalent of a loan with an interest rate over 300%. That's credit card and payday loan territory, all hidden behind this really friendly, easy-to-use app interface. So let's look at how this plays out for two different people. Over on the left, you've got person A. They're in a one-time jam, they borrow 150 bucks, pay it back on time, and they skip all the extra fees. Their total cost is super minimal, maybe 5 bucks, maybe nothing. But now look at person B. This is someone who starts to rely on the app. They borrow $250, but they're also paying that monthly subscription, the express fee because they need it fast, and they leave a tip. Suddenly, for that same $250, their cost is $40 or more. That convenience just got really, really expensive.
But you know what? The fees, they're just the beginning. We need to talk about the real danger, the one that's a lot harder to spot. We need to talk about the debt trap.
Because losing that money, that definitely hurts. But it's only part of the story. The real danger is what these apps can do to your financial habits and to your life.
So there are 3 huge risks to watch out for. First, the debt cycle. You borrow to cover this paycheck's shortfall, but then repaying that loan is what creates the next paycheck's shortfall. It forces you to borrow again and again. Second, your data. These apps require deep access to your bank accounts, your transaction history. You gotta wonder, where's all that data going? And third is the psychological trap. When money is just a few taps away, it can stop feeling like a tool and start feeling like a crutch. And this is so important. Convenience is incredibly expensive when it replaces discipline.
So how do they get away with this stuff? Well, a lot of them operate in this legal gray area. By calling their charges tips and fees instead of interest, they can often sidestep strict state and federal lending laws from regulators like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that are designed to put a cap on crazy high interest rates.
Now, to be fair and balanced here, these apps aren't always the villain. Take a look at this comparison. The average bank overdraft fee is around 35 bucks. So if you're about to overdraw your account by just a few dollars, paying a one-time, say $5 express fee on an app is, well, it's clearly the cheaper option. The danger isn't the one-time emergency use. It's the repeat dependency that turns a useful tool into a trap. Okay, so if these apps are a risky quick fix, what's the long-term solution?
It's all about empowerment. It's about building a stronger financial playbook for yourself. So before you even think about hitting that borrow button, just pause. Ask yourself, have I checked if my job offers a paycheck advance? Have I looked into a small dollar loan from a local credit union? Their rates are almost always going to be lower. Or, hey, have I just tried calling the company and asking for an extension on my bill? And for the long term, what if I could just start putting 20 bucks a week aside? That small buffer is your best defense against having to use these apps in the first place.
So what's the final verdict here? Lifeline or trap? The truth is, they're neither. They're just tools. And a tool can build you a temporary bridge over a financial gap, or it can dig you into a deep, deep hole of debt. The choice really is yours. The key is to see them for what they actually are, a last resort, emergency tool, not a part of your monthly budget.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this. The financial world is more complex than it's ever been, and understanding the tools you have and their true costs, it's not just smart anymore, it's a critical survival skill. If this explainer helped you at all, please share it, because someone you know might be facing that same late-night decision right now.